Hello everybody, this is Josh, and today we're going to be playing Cities Skylines with its new expansion, the Airports DLC. Along with Airports, two new content creator packs were released, but we are only going to focus mainly on the Airports DLC, on the Airports expansion. Enjoy. And well, first of all, we are going to be playing the new Airports DLC in a larger city than what we have been playing with. This is the city of Pepper Lake. Is one of the cities that I was able to salvage from my laptop that died a couple of months ago. And I chose this city because it's a large city. It has over 125k people for population, and it also has a somewhat nice flat area here. And I decided to put the airport here in this site, in this large plot of land, as well as expanding the expressway, freeway, or highway, however you want to call it, all the way until this piece of freeway. But first, in order to play the new Airports DLC, we need to do what we do with almost all of the expansions, which is basically to create an area. This time we're gonna paint an airport area. And the difference that selecting this tool for the airport does as opposed to the other ones is that this airport tool terraforms the terrain. It evens out the terrain so that we have a flat surface where we can place our airport. And as you can see, now we have two options: the options of disposing of soil and of buying of soil. And that's something that you have to consider once you start selecting the area, the zone, the district for your airport. I chose this area also because there's high terrain on one side and low on the other side, so we shouldn't need to buy that much soil. But let's prepare the terrain and the zone, and as you can see, you can buy and you can sell. It's gonna cost you money, so also be aware that it's gonna be an expensive endeavor. And so let me select the zone and we'll be back. And well, we have prepared this large plot of land. As you can see, it's already zoned for airport. And the next thing that we are gonna do is keep on tracing roads. As you know from me, I'm gonna trace just regular gravel roads for right now. And I'm gonna start tracing the exit roads as well as the side roads that are gonna go into the terminals. And well, now we have traced our entrance and our exit to our airport area. The next thing that we need to do is go into the new airport area tab under transportation. And now we can see different things that we have open at first. And there's only two things with three different styles. You either have a classic airport terminal or you have a two-story terminal in either the classic style, the modern style, and the ultra modern style. And so for this airport, we are gonna use the modern style and once we get the once we plop down the modern two-story terminal, we start getting more options, more things that we can plop down. It includes the small hangar, the modern control tower, the budget airport hotel, the small park plane. You have three options for that: the classic control tower, the ultra modern control tower, the airport bus station, and the small aircraft stand. And if you click at the area, you're gonna see that we don't have that much available at the moment because we still are having our airport under construction, and we need to build an airport terminal, which we have already here. We need to build an aircraft stand, and we need to build a runway. And the second thing that I'm going to do here is make sure that all this has access into the roads. Well, I think this is gonna work for right now. We have the two-story airport terminal, the one that has the arrivals at the bottom and the departures at the top, which is something that you can see in most larger airports, at least in the US. So again, we have the entrance, we have the exit, we have the terminal building, and now let's expand our terminal building. There's different things that you can use to expand the building, and the most important one is the airport concourse. This is what's going to allow you to grow it, to grow the terminal, and to put the different things such as the control tower or the small aircraft stand, which is what you need to have planes land and depart. So let's expand this big like this, and same thing here. Okay. And now this is a very, very basic shape for the concourse of this airport. But again, you know, it's the first airport. You know, we're trying to get it done, get it finished. So I think that's gonna work really well for now. And now we need to do, as we can see here, two things. We need to build the aircraft stand and we need to build a runway. And the first thing that I'm gonna do for right now is to build the taxiway. this is what's going to allow our planes to travel around. And I'm going to do it from here to here. And I'm going to expand it a little bit more. And a little bit more here. And now I'm going to do the runway. Also, I'm going to give it some space. And that should be it. As you can see, this runway is where the planes are going to land and depart. And once you build the runway, it tells you where you need to connect it with the rest of the taxiway. One of the things that I've noticed with this expansion is that the taxiway and the runways, but more the taxiway, they act a little bit weird when it comes to connecting. That's why you saw that I couldn't just do this and connect it in the middle. It just acts a little bit weird. But again, it shouldn't be a big deal. And now we have our runway, we have the taxiway, and now we need the aircraft stand. And this aircraft stand is what's going to allow us to have the planes depart and land. But one of the things that I want to do here really quick, so I'm going to do this. And I'm going to put the control tower here. Again, I wish you could put it anywhere. But again, it doesn't allow you to do it. So now let's put a couple of these stands. Let's put 5 for right now. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the other thing that you need to do is to connect them. That way the planes are able to land and park here or depart from when they're parking there. Making sure that there's a flow. Now the next thing that we need to do is make sure that it has water. And we're going to do this. And that it has electricity. And at least for right now, I think we're just gonna connect it into the grid. Doesn't really matter how, as long as we just get it. And so right now we have finished our airport. It has as you can see, there's already planes that are going to be departing. It has the terminal, the concourse, the tower, the taxiway that's going to take you into the runway. And as you can see, just like parks and industries, you still have levels that you need to increase. In here we have the attractiveness score of 80. I'm sorry, and we barely started. We're barely starting to move people around. But in order for us to increase the attractiveness, we need to plop down some of the items that we have here. And one of them is the budget airport hotel. And I think it's gonna fit nicely here. Make sure there's no electricity, but there you go. That should be good enough. And as you can see, that increased 40 points. And the next thing that we need to do is to put some hangars and some planes. So let's do a little bit more of a taxiway here. Make sure that we have our snapping points. Okay. And now we can plop down maybe one hangar here, another one here, and just a couple of planes. You can put one here, another one here, and maybe another one here. And always making sure that there's water. And so now our attractiveness score has gone up to 260 out of the 200 required for the next level. The next thing that we're gonna do is, because this city has 1, 2, 3 airports, 2 of them are passenger and 1 of them is for cargo, I'm gonna decommission this one, and that way there's only one smaller airport competing for passengers. And this one has none, so I'm more than sure everything's gonna be rerouted here. The next thing that I'm gonna show you is one of the extra things that you can put in here, and that's gonna be the bus terminal. So let's make this concourse a little bit bigger and put it this way. Let's just pause really quick to make sure that everything has power. There you go. And now we're gonna place down the bus station. Let's see if we can get this fixed here. I guess this was a little bit too much, but we have the right idea. There you go. And I think one of the biggest challenges that you're gonna have is to how to design your airport. So let's put just a small, let's pause the game really quick. And let's put a couple of routes here so we can show the different buses that now we have available. And so let's take a look at the first line that we're gonna change the vehicle for. So as always, we used to have the bus, the school bus, and the biofuel bus. And now we have the articulated airport bus. It's gonna be for this line. We're also gonna have the double-decker airport bus. We are gonna have the bendy bus. We are gonna have the double-decker bus. The minibus. And the super bendy bus. And while we wait for those buses to get here, we are seeing how we are doing here. We don't have that much traffic going at the moment. So let me just add one or more plane stands right here. There you go. And let's see how this airport does. One of the things that you can see here is that these stands, they do have these little vehicles that move, and you can see the passengers loading or unloading. Although it's not perfect, I think it works really well for what its intention is. By the way, you are gonna need a regular bus depot in order to get the vehicles, such as the bendy bus, the double-decker bus, because otherwise you're not gonna get them if you are using the biofuel depot. And now we got to level 2. And we have the large hangar, the luxury airport hotel, the classic large terminal, the classic concourse hub. We have the modern large terminal. We have the modern concourse hub. We have the elevated airport metro station. We have the aviation fuel station. We have medium park planes. We have the airline lounge. We have the ultra-modern concourse hub and the ultra-modern large terminal, as well as the medium aircraft stand. So let's just take a look at all these really cool buses. I think they are really cool. And of course they all have different capacities. For example, this huge amazing super bendy bus has a capacity of 100. We have this double-decker which has a capacity of 60. We have the articulated airport bus which has a capacity of 50. We have the double-decker bus which has a capacity of 60. We also have the, let's pause really quick, the minibus which has a capacity of 20. And so all of them, what's gonna allow you now is have not only a variety of buses around your city, but it's going to allow you to change which buses you want in your city. It's going to change how you lay down your routes, because now you're not going to have the big buses around your suburbs. You can have the mini buses. Or now you're not going to have the regular buses in your downtown area. Now you're going to have the double decker buses, the red ones. Or if you have a large line, then you can have the super bendy buses that, as you can see, they can hold up to 100 people, as opposed to putting railroad or subway. Of course, it's more money that you're gonna have to spend, but otherwise, I think it works really, really well. And so let's continue upgrading our airport. So one of the things that we got were the medium aircraft stand. So let's put 1, 2, let's put 3. Let's pause really quick so that we're able to place them here. Let's continue. As you can see, these are larger stands. They can accommodate larger planes like this one. This one can carry up to 200 passengers, as opposed as this one that can do 50. So let's make sure that there's enough water. And now I'm gonna keep on expanding this, and I'm gonna go on this side. So let's keep on with the concourse. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna continue. I think it looks really, really nice. We're also gonna add the luxury airport hotel, which I think would fit. Doesn't fit here. Doesn't fit there. Let's just put it here for now. I wish we had a couple of different ones, but I think that works. That works fine. And since I think we're gonna need more space, let's terraform a little bit more. Because this expansion is gonna be very interesting. Now here's where you're gonna maybe not struggle, but try to see how you're gonna make your airport different. I'm gonna add the concourse hub. I think it's gonna be great. And the concourse hub connects to a concourse, and you can put more concourse on the edges. I think this is fine for now. And this is it. Let's make sure that there's water. And I think this is a great way to expand the capacity of your airport and to give it a different shape. As when we were dealing with here was just regular straight shape. Now we curve it, and now we created this nice extra triangle shape. And now we can put the airport lounges, and we can put them almost anywhere. Of course, you cannot put them where you already put an airplane stand, but you can put one here, which I think works really well. We can do another one here, and I've actually realized that I like the way this looks here. Looks pretty cool. And we're gonna pause really quick so we can add a couple more of the medium size plane stands. Here, here, and here. We're also gonna add a fuel depot here. Maybe a hangar if it fits. It doesn't fit, we can put it here. Sure, why not? And a couple of airplanes here. Here. 1 and 2. Again, this is a DLC that requires a lot of space. I know that we're used to some of the big warehouses or factories that we have here. I mean, these tend to be really big. But at the same time, overall, you know, a large airport can be a huge airport. If you've ever been to the DFW airport, which by the way, they charge you to go inside if you're driving, regardless whether you're dropping off or picking somebody up. And so they're huge places, you know, they're amazingly huge places. They're cities by themselves. And so now let's unpause the game and double check what we have in place. So we have in place the elevated metro station, and I think that I'm gonna put it here. And I'm gonna bury it so we can connect it with this one here. Okay. And we're gonna create just one line that's gonna go from here, here, and here. And we're gonna have to choose now. We have different metro vehicles. We have the Airport Express Metro, we have the S-Bahn train, we have the subway train, high capacity metro, and underground train. All of these depending on, again, how you're going to use them, how dense your population is, how far away, how spread out your stops are. That's how you're going to be changing them. Also, again, there's different capacities for all of them, so it's gonna be a little bit different. One of the things that I like the fact that we get this, and I like the fact that, for example, there's another one here for metro station station. It's weird that we don't get a little bit more or different buildings like this. You know, there's you're forced to do let's pause really quick. You're forced to do a above ground and elevated. So that's a little bit weird for me. So again, let's change this a little bit. And again, we can change it to the other stuff. Depends again how many people are going to use it. You're going to have to change things. You know, some have higher top speeds, some have higher accelerations and capacities. Again, for me, I think the fact that the capacities are different, it's a win situation. This is a style modeled after the one in New York. And we need to add a little bit more of attractiveness. I think we can do that really quick. We can do it. And again, in reality, these are not that close to the concourses. You know, everything's more spread out. What I'm trying to do here is show you that it's very fast, very easy to get to a level 3. Right now, I think we've been playing for over 40 minutes. And in my previous plays on different cities, I think I've gotten it to less than an hour in order to get to level 3. And as you can see, we already have the attractiveness, so that shouldn't be an issue. Now we need to do the passengers. So what I'm gonna do again is to add a couple more airplane stands. Okay, making sure there's water. And the other thing that you get whenever you upgrade to level 2 is these other terminals, which again, unfortunately, I don't know why they don't connect to the ones that's already established. That bothers me a little bit. And so you can do this and connect them. And what you have is yet another terminal here. And I think it works pretty well. So let's try to get this together. And well, I think we've been growing our airport really nicely. Let's make sure that there's enough water to go around. And again, this is a little bit more something a little bit different, something extra that you can do. And of course, yes, you can mix and match. For example, if you want to try to do a more modern version, which is really what happens whenever you see an airport. You know, there's places, there's areas that are more outdated, some that are modern, and some that look even better. And yes, you can continue adding these if you want. So yeah, you can have more terminals, you can have a lot more stuff. You know, this looks actually pretty cool. Or even downgrade, you know, if you want to downgrade, you know, I don't see why not. You can do this. So you can mix and match, and I think that's gonna be perfect, especially if I was gonna start yet another airport, which I will in some of the other cities. I will start with the classic and then go up. But yeah, let's see. Now we finally got to level 3. It took us about 50 minutes, so it's not such a big. It's not that difficult as long as you have a good population. Now we have the aviation museum, we have the park cargo plane, and the large park planes. We have the airport train station, we have the cargo airport terminal, we have the airline headquarters, and the large more aircraft stands, and the cargo train station. So I'm gonna destroy all this because, and yes, I'm gonna destroy this because we have to do two things. First of all, I am gonna have to expand this a little bit more. Okay. Because we are gonna start with our cargo, the part of the cargo airport. Okay, we're just gonna do this. And we have the cargo airport terminal, which I completely forgot that we have to. There we go. It gets a little bit finicky, a little bit weird, but I still don't like the fact that things get a little bit weird here. Let's do this. And once you get the cargo terminal situated, we can do a couple of things. We can either connect these to here, or in the best of cases, which once again we have to expand our space, we can add yet another runway here, which I think would be ideal. Now what we have here is the regular cargo aircraft stands, and that's about it. So we can do 1 and 2, and we can do 1 and 2. And then we have the cargo airport road, which we're not going to worry about it right now. But again, we still have to connect the plane stands. So this is going to be it. And let's do this, and let's do another runway. this. And we now should be able to accept cargo and to fly. What you can also do is, what I would do here is not have put this concourse in this area, maybe put it here and bury down the highway, put another road, another taxiway from here all the way here. That way this runway can also be used. And now let's continue expanding this. Again, it's very eye-opening, not only in here. Let's pause really quick because we need electricity, I think. And just for the sake of it, let's put a... And I think that would be always a good idea. And now we have the last aircraft stand that we are able to place. And as you can see, these are the medium ones and these are the large ones. So only we can do 2 at a time. So now we have these. Okay. We have this very interesting now large aircraft stand. As you can see now, this can hold up to 350. The medium one can hold 200, and the small one 50. So it's good to have a mixture of all of them. And now let's take a look at how this airport works. Well, we're seeing that it's a very busy airport. We still have yet to see any movement here in the cargo airport terminal. I disconnect it just in case it's gonna do something. Again, sometimes things act very weird. It's a little bit frustrating, but I guess it'll be fixed later on. One of the other things that we are able to have, and we need to put a couple of these planes here. 1, 2. One, two, there you go. Is the Aviation Museum. And I think that's gonna fit really nicely here. Oh, there you go. We already have a cargo plane. Looking pretty nice. Pretty cool. There's another one. Let's follow it really quick. Pretty cool. Now there's a couple more things that I might want to put in here just to show them off. The first one is the airline headquarters building. What this building is going to allow you to do is to have your own airline and change prices and things like that. So for now, let's just place it here. And then you're going to be able to have this tab open, and you can change it to air chip. You can change the logo. You have up to 6 logos, again, like you do with the mascots at the in the university. Expansion, and you have this. So we're gonna do it yellow. There you go. And you can change the ticket price, which will increase income and attractiveness modifier. So we're gonna do 65. And hopefully we can see. Is that one of them? Yeah, this is one of our aircraft. Let's see. I don't think it's very safe maneuvering, but what do I know? It's gonna land. It's a really cool airport that we have. Smooth landing, no issues whatsoever. And we have another one that's also arriving, which is pretty cool. And we have 2 more things, or 3 more things. The first one is the cargo station. The train cargo stations. We don't have any train tracks in this map, so you could add these into the side or to the back. I think it's gonna work fine. And we also have the cargo airport terminal, which, let me make this a little bit bigger, not that big. And we're gonna place it here, not this one, this one. I like the footprint of this one a little bit better than the one for the subway. And again, I think that it's still gonna look a little bit out of place. But it works and it gets the job done. Now, just for the sake of it, let's continue making this a little bit bigger. And let's plop down some of the other assets that we have. For example, we have, as we saw, the regular, double, so we have the classic airport terminal. We have the classic two-story terminal. And we have the classic large terminal. We also have the classic control tower, and we have the classic concourse hub, and of course the concourse. There you go. Now we're gonna go with the modern So we have the modern airport terminal. We have the modern two-story airport terminal, which is the one that we chose to put here. We have the large modern terminal, looking really nice. We have the modern control tower and the modern concourse hub. And last but not least, we have the modern, the ultra modern, we have the ultra modern airport terminal. We have the ultra modern two-story terminal, which looks really, really nice. We have the ultra modern large terminal. We have the concourse. We have the ultra modern concourse hub and the ultra modern concourse control tower, which reminds me a little bit of the new Mexico City airport control tower. And I think the last thing that we have here to show you, well, besides these large roads, is the new fence. So let's put it here. It looks pretty cool. And it's gonna look great. I don't know why they need more power, but apparently they do. So that's it. This is what you get with the Airports DLC. You get the Airports DLC, you get the new buses. That sometimes gets a little bit weird. And you get a lot of entertainment that's gonna last at least for an hour until you get to level 3, which is what I've been getting in the past couple of days. Now, we need to be a little bit realistic as to what this is. This expansion, this DLC works really great. It's really fun. And I think that adds a new layer to the playability of this game. However, I do not think that this is a perfect DLC because it's still very unrealistic with the size of the town. This is a town of 125,000 people, and I completely doubt that a town this big or this large needs an airport as big as the one that we just built. And I say so because the area where I live at, it's a very small area. In the counties that I live in, we have 3 airports and they're smaller, and the population of the area I don't think is more than 1.5 million, and those airports are small. They haven't expanded that much, and so I think that that's still a little bit of my issue, which of course it's not this DLC is not to blame, but it's still part of the issue with Cities Skylines. Otherwise, I do like this airport DLC. I like at the fact that Cities Skylines is embracing a little bit more, little by little, the modularity of gameplay that SimCity 2013 had, and that it worked great. I like the fact in here that you can expand and expand and expand. And now with the content creator packs and with the extra buses and services, vehicles for the services, I think that it works well. But I still think that the way SimCity did modular buildings in SimCity 2013, it still works a little bit better because, for example, in here, yes, you can now change the vehicle that you want a certain building to spawn. For example, let's say the police. Now you can have the police unit, the big bus unit, or you can have the fast sports car, or you have the regular one. But what SimCity 2013 did was it allowed us to choose how we wanted to expand. For example, you can have your regular police department, and then add police cars, and then you can add a helicopter, and then you could add a detective van, and everything looked great and it worked great. And I think it allowed for you to change things, which made a little bit more sense, and to organically into the city. Right now, if you want to have in your city 3 different vehicles, you're going to have to place down 3 different police stations and then change the vehicle for each police station. Again, it also matters because each vehicle works in a different way or has different capacities, different speeds, different accelerations. So it's very important for this to happen, and I think it's gonna be great if this keeps being embraced if hopefully we can get a new Cities Skylines soon. But I think that the way that they're embracing the modularity of things is the way to go. Again, if you ever played SimCity 2013, it's not a bad game. It's just the fact that it's a small game to play in. You ended up filling up the space really, really fast, and things didn't work that well. But in here, we saw that we can add to the concourse, we can add the plane stands, we can add all these other different things, and that's what the modularity of things work really, really well. And that's what I want to see. Again, if you play SimCity 2013, you can place down a hospital, and it can have just regular ambulances, or you can add more helicopters or different type of vehicles that add in different ways, to increase health, to increase or to decrease crime in certain ways, or you can make things better in your schools. And I do think that the new content creator pack for vehicles is lacking the some more helicopters. I think that would have been a great addition to things. But otherwise, I think that what we have, especially because since this game tends to be a little bit European centric or European or more in line with European cities, and some of us that don't live in Europe or have never been in Europe or don't have that type of understanding of how things work in Europe, I think it's great that they're giving us a little bit more choices for that. Otherwise, I think I'm gonna keep enjoying these expansion. I don't like to call them DLCs. I think expansion works a little bit better. It is a little game within the game, as we've been having with universities and with parks and with industries, and I like that. Uh, but I think that we are ready for the next step in the game. I think we're ready to have whatever the game is gonna do next. Again, embracing this modularity is the way to go, and embracing also the new expansion is also the way to go. This game has been on for many years, and I think some of us have been enjoying it for a little bit less. At least for me, it's been less than 2 or 3 years, I think. Finally, I'm able to have a computer that is able to take advantage of a little bit more. I'm able to create larger cities. They look great. They play great. I still play vanilla because that's the way that I enjoy the game. If you play it with mods, with a lot of more assets, that's great for you. Enjoy the game the way that you want it. But overall, I think that Paradox is going in a good way. Uh, Maybe the price is a little bit high again, at least for my taste. I don't think the expansion should be more than I'm sorry, more than $10 US dollars, and the content creator packs again. I don't think they should be more than $3. Maybe that's the way that I see it, especially because this is not the only expansion that there is. And yes, if you wait, you can find them a little bit cheaper on sale or in other websites. But I think that out of the gate, especially for your consumers that have been supporting this game for years, some of you since the beginning, I think the price is a little bit high. But otherwise, I think if we were gonna score this, I think I would give it a maybe. I think I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. I think that it's a really good, a really good expansion, and that it's gonna add yet another layer of playability to your cities. It's always great to get new expansions because you go back to your older cities and now you try to incorporate that. And for me, that actually works great because that's also how real cities work. Nothing is done at once when the city began. Things are upgraded little by little, and for me that works really good. And I think that going back to a city and being able to enjoy that city is great. I think that everybody that plays this game or any other simulation game, after they played or they think they're done with the city, go back, especially if you haven't played that city with the new expansions, with the new DLCs. I'm sure you have maybe a couple dozen of cities that you stopped playing long ago. Uh, and now maybe you can go back and try something different. Try maybe the university, or try maybe the new parks, or try the industries. And now you can try this airport. And again, it's gonna add a lot of new playability. And the thing that I will recommend is that I know that I try to play as much vanilla as I can. But once my city reaches the maximum milestones, I do open my city to 25 tiles. And I think that for anybody that's able to do that, like, that's something that I recommend you to do, to open your city to at least 25 tiles. I think a little bit doing 81 or it gets a little bit problematic. But for 25 tiles, I think you enjoy most of what the creator of the map also tried to do. And you get to enjoy different terrain. You get to enjoy more water, more expansion. Of course, that's gonna be a little bit more taxing on your system, so that's also depends on you. But I think that once you're done reaching the megalopolis milestone, you should be able to open all of the squares and keep on expanding little by little. And again, going back to your older cities. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do that yet. But once I'm able to do that, hopefully I can play some of those cities for you all. I want to thank you for watching this video, liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you have any questions, if you agree or disagree with me, just put it on the comments and I will reply to you. As always, thank you. This is JOSHXplay, and we'll see you next time on YouTube and Twitch.